So how much money can you actually make dropshipping? In other videos, we've talked about some of the averages. What kind of the average person could make. But let's not talk about the averages in this video. Let's talk about what is possible. What is actually possible in the dropshipping space. And it actually depends on 3 keys. And once you know what these 3 keys are, you can take these 3 keys and use them to unlock the gateway to making as much money possible. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. As some of you guys know, I have dropshipped on a handful of different websites before. I've dropshipped on eBay before, dropshipped on Amazon, and now I'm currently dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace. And the first key is to understanding the platform or the website. So part of how much money you can make actually depends on the website itself that you're dropshipping on and when you are dropshipping on there. For example, back in the day, you could make pretty decent money dropshipping on eBay. A lot of people were doing it and making good money. eBay started cracking down, they put all these rules in place, and now it's not really doable to make decent money dropshipping on eBay. Yes, you can kind of still get away with it, but you can't. There's basically a lot of restrictions and constraints. You'll see people talking about, oh, you got to have 10 accounts and you do a little bit of sales on each account. I mean, risk versus reward, is it worth putting in all that to possibly make a little bit of money? I mean, everyone's opinion is their own, but for me, it's just not totally worth it. So part of it does depend on the platform. Another example could be Amazon. Amazon was a great place to dropship for about 10 years. About 10 years you could dropship on Amazon. In the beginning of 2021, they started really cracking down on dropshippers. You can't really dropship on their website anymore. Yeah, there'll be some people that get away with it for a few months, but they're cracking down on things they used to not crack down on before. It's harder to get accounts back for dropshipping suspensions than it was before. Actually, significantly harder. So it's very clear that website is, I would say it's dead for dropshipping, but it's pretty much dead as far as I'm concerned. So first of all, you have to make sure the website you're dropshipping on is working and you can make money with it now. The second key, the second part, is knowing how to grow it correctly. So this is doing things like knowing when and how to hire virtual assistants, how to train them, what jobs to give the virtual assistant so they're working their full shifts, but so they're not overworking. What to trust them with, what to not trust them with, how to train them, what to give them access to, how much should you pay them, when should you give them bonuses, when should you give them raises. If you're growing a business, when should you give them a promotion and a raise. And then, of course, combining that with software. What software can you use? This will allow you to grow correctly. And the second key is very important with key number 1. See, you could have the best website to dropship on possible, but if you don't know how to grow it correctly, you're not going to make that much money. You could know how to grow it correctly and be a super badass dropshipper, but if the website you're using, if the vehicle you're working on isn't good or isn't good anymore, you're going to struggle. So key number 2 is knowing how to grow it correctly. The third key is how good are you at the actual mechanics of the business, finding good items, getting those items listed. If you're on a website that's listing items, good drop shippers to use, right? Which dropshipping companies are you working with? How to handle customer service, how to handle returns, how to deal with your account health, how to not make silly mistakes. I've talked about this in other videos, but how to not make very simple, basic mistakes that could get your account suspended, which is not the fault of the dropshipping, it would be the fault of the person dropshipper. A very basic example I give is, let's say you go to a restaurant, right? Have you ever been to a restaurant and they advertise or they say, you know what? We get food out to people in about 13 minutes. And another restaurant advertises, we get food out to people, our average is 14 and a half minutes. No restaurants really advertise like that or even say that anywhere, but it's kind of socially implied. If you're going to go to a standard restaurant, the average amount of time it should take to get your food is, around 15 minutes. I think that's the restaurant standard, right? If a restaurant took 4 hours on average to get someone their food, they could be doing everything else great, but that restaurant's going to get bad reviews, not a lot of repeat customers, a lot of upset customers, a lot of customers that are leaving. So this translates to dropshipping. Like one of the basic things that you shouldn't do is, you shouldn't dropship from companies that take, 4, 6, 7, 8 weeks to get items delivered. The standard, and this is a term that I call, but shipping time frame etiquette in the United States is around 7 to 10 days. So like you could be doing everything else right, but if you're dropshipping from like AliExpress and you're using a supplier on AliExpress that takes 4 to 6 weeks to get the item delivered, generally customers are not going to be that happy, right? So not making errors kind of falls into that category. But that's it. Once you have these 3 keys, and you can use these 3 keys in any business, that's when business can really get great. And you can make pretty good money dropshipping. I mean, I had 2 years ago, so in 2020, I'm making this video in 2022. In 2020, I made over $100,000 in profit dropshipping. The next year, in 2021, I had months where I was making over $10,000 a month profit. I had 1 month I made around $21,000 in profit dropshipping, working about 2 hours a week. So I worked about 8 hours that week and I made $21,000 in profit after all expenses. I had 8 virtual assistants. I had like a head manager and it was like another one was like an assistant, a department manager. I looked at all the softwares and I picked the one I believe was the best. I was firing in all cylinders. I was using a platform that was really good at the time, not good anymore, and I got my skills very good at the business. So it's possible when everything's working correctly to make really, really, really solid income. So that's what I got for you guys. Those are the 3 keys, and hopefully when you're evaluating if you should dropship on a website, you take into consideration these 3 keys so you have the highest chance possible of making the most amount of money possible in your dropshipping business and career.